Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're tackling a topic that affects literally every American, whether you're nearing retirement, already retired, or decades away from it. We're talking about why Social Security and Medicare are running out of money, what's actually behind it, and what may need to change, like taxes, fees, or benefits to keep these programs alive. Now, this isn't doom and gloom, and it's definitely not political. This is about understanding the real math, the real trends, and the real solutions that everyday people can use to protect themselves no matter what Congress does. Now, before we dive in, if you like videos relating to retirement planning or financial planning, make sure to hit the subscribe button. All right, so let's talk about what Social Security and Medicare were built for. Before we look at why these programs are struggling, let's remind ourselves what they were built to do. Social Security launched in 1935. It wasn't designed to be your full retirement income. It was meant to be a basic safety net, something to keep older Americans from falling into poverty. And back then, life expectancy was around 61 years old. Most people didn't collect benefits for long. Some didn't even collect at all. There were tons of workers paying into the system and far fewer retirees pulling money out. And the math worked. Medicare came later. In 1965, medical care was much cheaper. And again, people didn't live as long. Both programs were built on simple assumptions, and that's it. Lots of workers paid in, supporting a much smaller group receiving benefits. Fast forward to today, and that balance has flipped upside down. Here's the biggest driver of the funding problems: demographics. Number one, people live much longer now. Instead of receiving benefits for a few years, many Americans collect for 20 to 30 years. Great news for longevity, tough news for program math. Number two, baby boomers are retiring in waves. About 10,000 boomers retire every single day, and that trend continues for years. That means fewer people paying payroll taxes and more people receiving benefits. Number three, the birth rate has dropped. Families are smaller, and immigration patterns have shifted. The number of new workers isn't keeping pace with the number of new retirees. In the 1950s, there were about 8 workers per retiree. Today, about 2.8, heading toward 2. 2 workers supporting 1 retiree is extremely hard to sustain financially. This demographic shift is the foundation of the funding crisis. Now, all right, let's get back into what's really happening with Social Security. Let's talk about the Social Security's financial problems. So now that we understand the demographic wave, let's talk about why Social Security specifically is running into trouble. Social Security is funded mostly by payroll taxes, 12.4% split between you and your employer. But because there are fewer workers supporting more retirees, the money coming in isn't enough to cover what's going out. For years, Social Security relied on its trust funds, basically, but those savings are being used up quickly. Now let's look at the projections. The projections show that around 2033, the main Social Security trust fund for retirees will run dry if nothing changes. That does not mean Social Security disappears. It just means ongoing payroll taxes would only cover about 75 to 80% of promised benefits. That's still a cut, and it's a meaningful one, especially when a lot of people rely on Social Security as their number one income source. On top of that, benefits have cost of living adjustments, which rise with inflation. Higher inflation means higher payouts. And here's another challenge: Social Security taxation. Back in the 1980s, fewer than 10% of retirees paid taxes on their benefits. Today, more than 50% of people that are in retirement pay taxes on their Social Security benefits. Why? Because those tax thresholds were never adjusted for inflation. Income creep pulls more retirees into Social Security taxation every year. Now let's talk about the Medicare's financial crisis. So Medicare, which actually faces even a bigger financial trouble even sooner, is a bigger challenge. Medicare has 3 major challenges, which is 1, healthcare costs rise faster than inflation. Medical costs skyrocket year after year, and Medicare absorbs a huge chunk of that for adults 65 and older. Number 2 is retirees use more healthcare than ever before. People are living longer, but often with chronic conditions or expensive medical needs. Surgeries, prescriptions, technologies, everything costs more. And number 3, fewer workers are supporting the system. Just like Social Security, Medicare's funding base is shrinking, but the expense keeps growing. Medicare Part A, the hospital insurance portion, is projected to hit insolvency around 2030. And here's something a lot of people don't realize. Your Medicare premiums, Part B and Part D, can go up based on your income. That's where IRMAA surcharges come in. Higher income equals higher Medicare premiums. Even middle income retirees can get swept into higher brackets if tax laws tighten. All of this puts more pressure on your retirement income unless you plan proactively. So now let's talk about why taxes and fees may need to increase. So why might taxes, premiums, or fees rise? It comes down to the basic levers Congress can pull. They have about 3 options. One is they can increase revenue, which is raising payroll taxes, raise the income cap on Social Security taxes, increase Medicare premiums, keep IRMAA brackets frozen so more retirees pay more. Number 2 is they could reduce benefits, lower cost of living adjustments, raise the full retirement age, change benefit formulas. Or number 3 is they could mix of both, which is historically what happens. But almost all solutions share one thing in common. They are tied to your income. If your retirement income is high, or if taxes rise and push you into higher brackets, you may pay more tax on your Social Security, pay higher Medicare premiums, get taxed at higher rates, or you could trigger IRMAA surcharges or lose flexibility in your income planning. That's why understanding your retirement income sources is so important. And that leads us right into what you can do. Now, what you can do is an income planning solution. So here's the most important part of this entire video. You have more control over how much these changes affect you than you might think. Social Security and Medicare benefits aren't just based on your work history. They're taxed based on your income level in retirement. That means your mix of income, taxable, tax-free, interest, dividends, withdrawals, determines whether your Social Security gets taxed, whether you get hit with IRMAA surcharges, whether you get pushed into higher tax brackets, how much you'll owe in Medicare premiums, and how rising future taxes may affect you. Here's the game changer. If you reduce your taxable income in retirement, you reduce the impact of future tax increases or programs change. This is where Roth accounts could potentially come in. Why are Roth strategies so powerful? Roth IRAs and Roth 401ks are incredible tools because withdrawals from your Roth IRA and Roth 401k are tax-free. They don't count toward your Social Security taxation. They don't increase your Medicare IRMAA surcharges. They help you avoid higher tax rates. You're never forced to take your required minimum distributions from a Roth or Roth 401k. Well, I'm sorry, with a Roth 401k, you are required to take required minimum distributions, but you just move your Roth 401k to a Roth IRA and problem solved. Now, every dollar in a Roth is a dollar the government can't tax in retirement. Now, there is a bit of a trick there because you do have to get your money out of the IRAs and 401ks to be a Roth, and that could cause some of these things that we just talked about to make your taxable income go up. And you could be hit with some of these extra premiums or extra taxes. But that's only for a short period of time. Now, let's compare that to a traditional IRA or 401k. Every withdrawal counts as taxable income. It can push you into higher IRMAA brackets, and it can increase taxes on Social Security. It can trigger higher marginal tax rates, and RMDs can force you to take income you don't want. This is why many people use Roth conversions before retiring or in early years of retirement, especially when tax rates are historically low. You're basically prepaying taxes on your terms so you can enjoy tax-free IRMAA-friendly income later. Income flexibility is the real solution to an unpredictable tax future. Now, here's what you need to know. You need to control what you can control. So here's the bottom line today. Yes, Social Security and Medicare face serious financial challenges. Yes, reforms are coming at some point. And yes, many of those reforms involve taxes, income thresholds, or fees. But the power you have is in your planning. You can control where your income comes from, how much taxable income you'll have, whether you'll get hit with IRMAA in retirement, how much of your Social Security gets taxed, whether future tax hikes affect you or not. And tools like Roth strategies, proactive tax planning, and thoughtful income design give you a way to stay flexible, no matter how the laws change. You can build a retirement that's stable, reliable, tax efficient, and designed around your goals, not Washington's balance sheet. If this video helps bring some clarity to a complicated topic, tap the like button And it really helps more people find this kind of educational content. If you want more videos on tax efficient retirement income, Social Security strategies, and ways to reduce your tax risk in retirement, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications. Lastly, if you want tools or help understand whether Roth conversions or other tax smart strategies might fit your situation, check the links in the description below and we can set some time up together. Thanks for watching, and here's a building a retirement filled with clarity, confidence, and control. I'll see you in the next video.